New York Times reporter Michael Schmidt, who is one of the reporters that broke the news that Donald Trump personally directed efforts to seize voting machines, explained the significance of these revelations. And MSNBC's Joe Scarborough agreed they were damning. Take a look.
Pennsylvania to use local law enforcement to take control of the voting machines in those states, but they also refused to do so. Trump then moved on to the military. The Times reports that in a December 18th meeting, Michael Flynn and Sidney Powell handed Trump a draft executive order that would have authorized the Pentagon to seize the machines. Trump reportedly sought Rudy Giuliani's counsel. But two sources tell the Times that Giuliani was vehemently opposed to the idea.
So that's when
Stop
you know.
right there.
That's when you know.
Stop right there.
You have crossed the Rubicon. When Giuliani says, well, I don't know, I'm a little uncomfortable with it.
That's not good.
Is this the ethical thing to do?
Whoa.
Trump then moved on to the Department of Homeland Security, according to two sources. Giuliani then said, okay, I'm back in the game. Yeah, let me do this. And he called DHS official Ken Cuccinelli to see if he could help. Cuccinelli said, drop dead. Maybe not those exact words,
no,
but
he said he could not help.
Get lost. NBC News has independently confirmed this report and reached out overnight to the former president for comment.
This man was
Let's bring in one of the reporters
ball.
behind the Times story, Michael Schmidt. He's an MSNBC national security analyst. Michael, we've read the story. You can tell us a little bit about it. But what strikes me is there's an old Rolling Stones song called Time Is on My Side. Time is not on the side of Donald Trump. The further we get away from January the 6th, the more we're finding out about him trying to seize voting machines, trying to use federal government to seize voting machines. The more we find out about these fraudulent electors, people who lied about being electors from states, they're probably going to be going to jail as well. And these January 6 convictions keep going on. You've got people testifying in front of the January 6 commission that were in Trump's inner circle. I mean, things are going from bad to worse for the former president, isn't it?
The biggest, most important point out of our reporting in this story is bringing Trump into it is what these new facts do. They tie Trump directly to the efforts to overturn the election in a new way. Yes, we know Donald Trump was trying to overturn the election. He says it out loud. He did things out loud. We now know more about what he was doing behind the scenes. The attempts to, have Giuliani ask the Department of Homeland Security whether they could do this related to the voting machines. It shows that the voting machines ploy was more than a ploy of the odd outside individuals who were advising the president in this period of time. We also now know that Trump's interest, Trump's looking at this idea, extended over a longer period of time than we knew before. We know that it extends as far back as the middle to the end of November. So this is just a few weeks after the election where Trump, in an Oval Office meeting, brings up the idea with Barr and says to Barr, is this something that the Justice Department could do? And Barr says no. And this is part of a pattern of Barr emerging as a guardrail in these final days of Barr's term as Attorney General, saying no to the president. But within a month, you have Trump, again, looking for someone else to do this and another part of the government to do this. And it's part of a pattern in which Trump tries to get other people in other parts of the government to do things for him.
As the recent New York Times news broke, legal experts were somewhat surprised, but the crux of the story about Trump's further attempt to overthrow the election was simply more of the same that experts have already observed. Former federal prosecutor Sean Lan Wu argued that nobody involved in these plans had any good faith basis to be asking military, Homeland Security, DOJ to seize voting machines. They simply wanted to overturn a lawful election, he said. Former Attorney General Alberto Gonzales, who also served as White House counsel during the George W. Bush administration and as Texas Secretary of State, said, "It is obviously very disappointing. I think this reflects an individual who is in denial. But obviously, whether or not a crime was committed here, I think the behavior that's being described is extremely troubling. And I think it, again, reflects a personality, that of an individual that, like a child, is unwilling to accept reality. And I think it is a reflection of a person who is a loser. Donald Trump lost the election and is someone unwilling to accept that. And I think that's very, very unfortunate. And I think it's been harmful, certainly to the Republican Party, but more importantly, harmful to this country. It made it more difficult for President Biden to govern. And I think Biden is dealing with some extraordinary challenges. And to have this kind of distraction, I think, is very unfortunate," Gonzales said. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to visit us at rawstory.com. And if you'd like to see more of the Raw Report, please like and subscribe and join others who like their news raw too.